That's not how it works. So I'm going to be talking in this video about what the law says about when it is the police can search you. Thank you so much for joining me courtside. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. So have you ever had the police stop you and say they want to search you or search your vehicle? If so, did you ask them any questions? What did they say in response? And let me know in the comments, all right? And also want to know what you think about the police doing stop and searches. Now, of course,
Greetings. Greetings across the earth. Greetings, free people. Again, complete gratitude out there. First, we must give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our path in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. Yeah, we choose to be accurate. Yeah, always I try to improve. Now, the caption said Jamaica criminal police unlawful stop, search, and seizure. Iman can present this kind of information only because Iman have first-hand knowledge, not hearsay. And again, in an effort to provide information in order to improve the relation between the public servants, agents of the Public Service Authority, and the Police Commission, Police Service Commission, the specific agency that is governed by the judiciary arm or branch of government. Now we have a media personality, Madam Diane Miller. I share some information. People have to remember, say, I'm on make a step in 2019. From 2018, I'm on chose to travel in an unregistered automobile. Again, unregistered, uninsured. I don't use a driver's license because it doesn't apply to me. So these are the context. And I'm quite sure when I express myself that way, you have the colonized people where we say him wrong, him for go get licenses, him for listen to the corporate government authority, and him should do all of these things only because these people are unlearned and colonized. No apology. Look at yourselves. Look at yourselves and tell me I'm wrong. I'm the only man on this island who stepped forward this way. And I've been saying we have a right to freedom of movement, unencumbered, unrestricted. Nobody enough to come tell us, boy, you need permission to move about in your own land. Anyway, we're going to make an effort for, dissect this kind of information and bring forward our own point of view. Because we're not slave around here, we are free man and woman, so we always have our own opinion and we don't have a problem when we put information in the public arena to scrutinize it as such. We're not coming down a private house to come see what's going on. Yeah, unless we are astro travel, when we violate, we just come look one and go on and talk about nothing. So now if you wonder, how we know all of these things? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, salute, assembly, complete gratitude for your presence, my king. Salute, my Lord. Honor me, King. We're going to go ahead and share Madam Beyond Miller point of view. Now, remember she said, boy, if you get stopped and you ask the police any questions, you know what I mean? And what is their response? Now, what she not tell you is the kind of question you're supposed to ask. Because I'm going to assume that most people see this information, it get over 100 million views. So never share it. But you know them always a flag me, so never chit chat in between it. You know what I mean? Just so the information can get out there. So them not just completely block it. Because people have an issue when they use that material, even though it's in the public domain. Fair use out there. So let's touch on it. The moment a policeman stop you, one of the very first questions you got asked after you show that police respect, or you show them respect. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, officer, or you just say greetings, officer, irrespective of how them approach you. You know what I mean? Greetings, officer. Are you upholding your oath and or affirmation made on the penalty of perjury? Today, sir, that's the question you're going to ask. That's the only question you should ask. You're not going to ask why you stopped me. No. At the get-go, are you upholding your oath of office? Because you have to establish jurisdiction in the people. Because I'm not supposed to talk to you unless you have probable cause or reasonable suspicion of you, the individual, committing a criminal act. And you have to know what constitutes a criminal act or what constitutes a crime. You understand? And you have to know the elements of a crime. So there's a lot of little subtleties to it where them totally walk past. And because Madam Diane Miller, she's not on my side of the fence, where she'll look on, you know, the information from a free man's perspective. Remember, these people are colonized irrespective of what they're saying and how they're purporting themselves to be. You understand? And when I say colonized, meaning they're controlled by the foreign British, you know, say, crown or entity, subject to that thing, subject to the legal standards, yeah, the rules and regulations. When I apply to the West Indian, when I apply to the Awak Indian nation, and when I apply to the free man and woman of this hemispheric region. So when them say, boy, you get stopped, all you ask, are you upholding your oath or affirmation made on the penalty of perjury to uphold the constitutional laws and to serve the Jamaican people well? Are you doing that, sir? And if they are not, then you have nothing to say. Let them do what they want to do, search you and all of these things. All you're going to say is, I do not consent, but I have no power because you have force of arm. Your arm out here. So we can challenge you people when we are unarmed. So you go through the process and then, you know, you present the case in a court and you shall win once you have a honorable justice like David Batts. Salute our hero, our general, even though you not have all the information correctly. And I'll touch on that. But yeah, I'm on salute Justice Batts. I talked about this case a while back. But when we're up on this level, every day we learn, we can always revisit these kind of information and bring clarity, honorable clarification. So we say salute Justice Batts for your adjudication in that case with Gary. I'm going to share that case. So let's hear this lady talk again. And, you know, yeah, we just do our own thing out here. sharing the information and bringing clarity. Okay, listen to the statement from Madam now. Now she has said they can't lawfully do that. That means there's an unlawful practice which they are cognizant of. So I go on, my people. You have what is lawful and what is legal. And what is legal is not necessarily lawful, because what is legal requires consent. What is lawful, you don't need no consent. You understand? It's common law, like do no wrong, do no harm. So here, Madam Diane Miller, I tell you, say, Diane Miller, I tell you, say, boy, it's not lawful. So these people are conducting themselves unlawfully out there, and it is being permitted by whom? By whom? Who will permit these conduct? Well, when them take this case to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court justice will always overturn and reprimand and charge whoever. Well, I don't think them charge the police. Them probably just, give one of them like a lawsuit fine that when pay a couple of $1 million where are not even impaired these things. These people are break the law, so them to be criminally convicted and removed from them work, remove them pension, and them supposed to go in a GP like me, if it's even for 2 years, if it's even for 6 months, but them need for go in a GP or any one of them prisoner and experience what that is like. Because them a lawbreaker. And you see, if we're not correct these things, I'm telling you people, take my word. Take my word. It's gonna get ugly. Ones are gonna really realize that, boy, if this is law and these people are outside the law, they are fair game. And no court can convict you when you're fair game. Criminal them out there when them are outside of the law. This is why we say let's choose to do what is right. We have to make them kind of choice, them my people. We have to choose to do what is right. So now we have to know what is law and what is not.
as one of my friends likes to say. So the judge said he believed Mr. Heeman. So here's Mr. Heeman's account of what happened as accepted by the judge. Now, as I said, Mr. Heemans and his family were leaving Helsha Beach in the night and he was stopped by police.
Now, listen to what she just said. The judge accepted Mr. Gary's story. You know what I mean? Mr. Heeman or Herman's story. The judge accepted. Why? Because the police also have a story. This is why I said these lying police, because usually they are all lying. All of them. The document what I'm going to present is always fictitious, especially in this traffic court area, which is unconstitutional. There always a witness statement that usually is unverifiable, but people pass that, walk past that, and continue down the road. One of the first acts of the accused is to challenge the jurisdiction of that court. Any court where I bring a charge, challenge the jurisdiction of that court. That is first instance. Just like how when a police officer got stop you, that is the first instance. What is the reason for your stop? You not move past that and not talk about anything else about red. Why you stop me for? Who are you? What gives you the authority to even stop and engage me outside a contract? And if you're presuming that there's an underlying contract anywhere, present that contract upon the court for inspection. You understand? So clarity we are saying. And we now deal with it from their perspective. You know, we are West Indian around here, you know, the original people around here. These people what we're looking at, talk about them in a judiciary. These are the colonizers and the proxies of the colonizers. Most of these judges are Maroons. You hear the Maroon all elders said them send 20, 18, 30 people to college and university and all of these things. This is what them do. Groom these people, put them in place. So when their Maroon people come into court, they just walk out because they are one organization. And when the West Indians step forward, he's being ostracized, persecuted, and got through all kind of games. No more, because what we choose to do is apply ourselves for ourselves. So we come with correct knowledge. That's what we come with, so we can decimate your deceptions out there. Clarity. Mark them word they're down in the people. When I use the word just, loosely. Honorable clarification. Always ask for that. Honorable clarification. Clarify what you're saying.
Least 3 policemen jumped out of their jeep and told him to come out of the car. Now, Mr. Hemans, his niece, and 2 small nephews got out of the car. His friend, Chris, was driving another car, stopped to find out what was going on. The police told him get out of that car too. Now, by that time, the children are crying. Everybody comes out, hands in the air. Mr. Hemans has a brother named Chad who was driving a car at the front. Now, Chad comes back to find out what has happened. And then Chad says, Gary, what is the problem? We can't even come to Jamaica, come enjoy ourselves. Every turn you turn, a police, and every time they stop us is money they want. At that point, one of the police officers said to Chad, I hold you long boy, and drape up Chad in his waist. So Chad told the policeman to let him go. The policeman pushed down Chad. Mr. Heman said at this point now, his mother is crying, Chad's wife is crying. And Mr. Heman says, officer, we're no gunman, we're no thief. I'm a brother, I'm a family. And he also said, I feel so secure when I see you driving a premises, but how I behave now make me feel insecure. He said they kept behaving aggressively.
Listen, I now go lie. Police, when you say police, you're supposed to feel safe, secure, and say, yes, we have, protection around us. But most other people, when them see police, as them see police, or when them are not criminal, them panic, them get afraid, them go on with bare fidgeting and craziness. Some of them get in all accident just by the mere presence of the police car behind them. While you have some others just outright rebellious. Whether them wrong or right, them just want, fight. Give me a second, people.
So he said to them, officer, I truly have a gun over we while I behave so. So one policeman then put his gun in the jeep. He came back, he hit Mr. Hemans in the chest, he hit him in the face, and then he said, you say if I true me have my gun, why me have gone so? So me put down my gun there. The policeman then started draping him up and saying he was going to arrest Mr. Hemans for assaulting the police. So Mr. Hemans asked him, how me could I assault you and you hit me in my face? So that policeman and another policeman now started to hit Mr. Hemans, then box him, they hit him all over his body. They took him to Portmore police station and they locked him up. This was 10 minutes to 11 o'clock in the night. He didn't get bail until the following day, 11 o'clock in the night. So he said he told the police on duty at the station that he had been beaten up, but nobody took a report from him. Also, they had put him in the holding area of the guard room. So anybody who came into the police station and knew him saw him there. In addition, while they were processing him at the police station, 2 policemen told him to take off his clothes and to squat down. So he had to strip naked and squat down in a corner. And as you can imagine, He felt humiliated and he felt embarrassed. He didn't know why he had been stopped. The police hadn't asked for his papers, hadn't told him it was a spot check. He did go to see a doctor after he had been bailed, so there was medical evidence as well before the court. And he went to court 6 times. The police didn't turn up. And it wasn't until the 6th time that the case was dismissed for want of prosecution. Now, let me say something here. This happens all the time. People take days off work to go to court only to have police not turn up. This happens especially in traffic. Court. And the court allows this because the judges keep adjourning the matters for the policemen to come. It's foolishness and it's disrespect. Of people who have to come to court or risk having a bench warrant issued for them and having themselves arrested. Why on earth should Mr. Hemans have had to come to court 6 times before the matter was thrown out? Really and truly, if the matter is called up the first time and police are not there and there is no excuse, no explanation given, the matter should be thrown out right then and there. Maximum 2 times. That's it. Anyway, Mr. Hemans couldn't go back to work for 4 weeks after he had been beaten up because he was in pain. He was a taxi driver. Now, this is what the judge said. The judge found the state liable to Mr. Hemans for assault, false imprisonment, and malicious prosecution. The judge said there was no reasonable or probable cause to stop him, to arrest him, or to charge him. He hadn't committed any breach of the peace. He hadn't committed a felony. He had not even committed a misdemeanor. There was no reason to assault him or to arrest or charge him. The judge said that the action of the police officers in relation to Mr. Hemans wasn't self-defense. They weren't defending any other person, nor was there any breach of the peace that was threatened or was in progress. The police officers responded with excessive force and in an unlawful manner to words of protest that came from Mr. Hemans and its passengers when they were stopped and searched. Now, the judge pointed to Section 15 of the Constitution and what it says about our right to liberty. What it says is no person shall be deprived of his personal liberty except in certain circumstances. One of those circumstances is upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed or being about to commit a criminal offense. For example, if police see you climbing in through my bedroom window at midnight, it is reasonable to suspect that you are about to commit a crime. If you are driving along the road within the speed limit, not breaking any laws whatsoever, there is no reasonable suspicion there that should cause them to search you. The judge also said it is still the law of this nation that persons under the Queen's peace are entitled to freedom from search of their person or property unless such a search is legally justified. He said, I hold it is not a lawful reason to stop and search a car based on the fact that cars with similar features are often stolen and used in the commission of a crime, which was the excuse the police gave for stopping and searching Mr. Heman's crime. They said that that kind of car was used to commit crimes. Now, what is reasonable suspicion? Now, this is a critical part. Reasonable suspicion has to have something to do with you or what you are doing. It has to be specific to you. This is how the judge put it. The judge said the reasonable cause to suspect that an individual has or is about to commit a crime must relate to peculiar characteristics of the person or the vehicle he's driving or the manner in which it is operating or to information received. In Jamaica, the citizen is free to move about without an obligation to carry a pass and is not to be subject to arbitrary or random search. This is still a constitutional guarantee. So no, the police cannot lawfully stop you and say they are conducting the search under the Agricultural Produce Act or under the Larceny Act because they're looking for stolen goods. No, not psycho. There has to be something that you have done that creates reasonable suspicion. So Mr. Hemans won his case against the government. He was awarded over $2.6 million in damages. I wish I could tell you that since the Hemans case, we no longer have situations where unlawful stop and searches are carried on. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you that. Let me say something though, because I know there are going to be people who are saying, but why would anybody object to being stopped and searched by the police if they haven't done anything wrong? I have no problem with letting the police stop and search me. Well, if it is that you agree and you consent to a search by the police, that's fine. Just don't try and impose your agreement on somebody else. Other people might very well have legitimate reasons for not wanting the police to search them or search their vehicle, right? That has nothing to do with any kind of criminal intent or criminal offense. For instance, somebody might object to being profiled or stereotyped because they look a certain way and because they drive a certain vehicle and they don't look like an uptown Richmond Browning, for instance. Or it may be that somebody simply takes their constitutional rights very seriously and does not want to be searched if the police cannot explain what is a reasonable suspicion on which they want to search you. One of the important takeaways from this, though, we really need to know our rights and we need to know what questions to ask if it is that the police stop us and want to search us. What is a reasonable suspicion on which you stop me, on which you want to search me, officer? What's the basis on which you want to search my vehicle? What is it about my vehicle or about me or about how I'm behaving that has given rise to reasonable suspicion? What is a reasonable suspicion? It's also important that we have a constitution that protects our rights and we have a Supreme Court that protects the Constitution and upholds the Constitution. I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me courtside. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, no, all the things stop. Wow.
My family. And he also said, I feel so secure when me see on drive in a premises, but how na
Salute, 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 free people. Boy, I'm gonna get called out just a little bit. I made have to step out for a minute, you know. It's like me have a little unit where me have to go get open so a brethren kind of take a look at it for send it off and see what I want. Whole heap of time I miss out, I probably have to go read this video. I mean, really want to chop up in it, but anyway, I'm going to share the information. Yeah, so. Where I say, port, this is where Babylon do. My situation is always unique and different, only because I'm outside the jurisdiction of the political entity known as the government of Jamaica. I'm outside and a part of that, apart from that. So, the requirements for the subject citizens. The requirement for the subject citizen to be registered, licensed, and insured. Those kind of requirements now apply to the Jamaican national. And as such, the moment the police officer out there stop you without probable cause or reasonable suspicion of a crime, then literally I break the law. Now, the law what them a break can bring a tort claim for trespass to the person, assault, because once them engage in a telecepharay and deal with it any kind of way, it's an assault. False imprisonment, and when them are carried through the legal process, it's malicious prosecution. No different from my experience. So when the policeman stop you, they must say, they want to see if it's reasonable cause to stop and request search, or whether excessive force, and then damages shall incur. Now, I'm going to read where Judge Butts, Quorum, Justice David Butts, QC, 1, in his amended claim filed on the 28th of December, or the 28th day of November 2011, the claimant seek damages aggravated and exemplary for assault, false imprisonment, and malicious prosecution. The police them deal with him rough out there. By way of amended defense filed on the 3rd February 2012, the defendant assert, which is the police, that the claimant committed 3 offenses, namely uttering indecent language, abusive language, and assaulting a police constable. So the police are tell lie right here, because nobody are going to assault a police with gun at them hand, especially in Jamaica. None. The only time you see police and women a fight out there because them have personal relation. Yeah, man, no sense of a man now go see a man with no gun and attack them. Crazy. Not like that. It said if the defense denies that the claimant was assaulted and avers that the arrest and imprisonment of the claimant was lawful. How can that be lawful? You understand? And this is why they have to take it to a judge to review these things. Now, number 2 says the issue concerns event which occurred on the night of the 16th of May 2007. So you see it happened in 2007 and the lawsuit got through in 2012. So how long that is? Yeah, man, a steady 5 years. The claimant and his family were exiting popular Hellshot Beach after complied with a signal to stop by police officer. What happened next is the subject of conflicting evidence. Conflicting evidence. Again, conflicting evidence. That's why they must have them bring it to the arbitration and will be addressed later in this judgment. However, what is beyond doubt is that the claimant was taken into custody, charged, bailed, and 9 months later, the charges were dismissed. So you put the people and through a bag of things and then you dismiss the charge and expect to just walk away scot-free. This is the problem we have on this island. Now, Honorable Justice Box said, before embarking on an analysis of the evidence, I, Justice Box, feel constrained to make some observation about the Constitution of Jamaica and its genesis. Again, the Constitution of Jamaica and its genesis. The Jamaica Constitution, Order in Council 1962, enacted the Constitution of Jamaica, which is to be founded in the second schedule of that Order in Council. Section 13 of the Constitution provides. All right. Them say you can't find this thing out. I man share this information. So now we're going to look at what Section 13 provides. Section 13, so whereas every person in Jamaica is entitled to the fundamental rights and freedom of the individual, that is to say, has the right, whatever his race, place or origin, political opinion, color, creed, or sex, but subject to the respect for the rights and freedom of others and for the public interest to each and all of the following. Namely, when them say subject to respect, that means is, you know have no right to violate no man, for disrespect no man. In other words, the golden rule, your only obligation is not to violate the very rights where you are secure for yourself. You can't violate the next individual rights out there. That's the only obligation to the public. So them say these rights are namely life, liberty, security of the person, the enjoyment of property, and the protection of the law. B, freedom of conscience, of expression, and of peaceful assembly and association. And C, respect for his private and family life. This is where Chief Judge Justice Box I tell these people, listen now, the subsequent provision of this chapter shall have effect for the purpose of affording protection to the aforesaid rights and freedoms, subject to such limitation of that protection as are contained in those provisions, being limitations designed to ensure that the enjoyment of said rights and freedom by any individual does not injure, prejudice means injure, the rights and freedom of other or the public interest. Now, Judge Box go on to say in number 4, he said, the relevant part of section 15 said, no person shall be deprived of his personal liberty save as may in any of the following cases be authorized by law. And it's the A to E. And then you have F, upon reasonable suspicion of having committed or of being about to commit a criminal offense. You have to find out what constitutes criminal offense. You know what I mean? And then himself 4, any person who is unlawfully arrested or detained by any other person shall be entitled compensation thereof, therefore from that person. So just like Constable Andel Morgan and his superior officer, senior sergeant of police, A. Edwards, because they make an unlawful arrest and detain I unlawfully, falsely imprison I am entitled, it's a shall. Any other person shall, that means it's compulsory. It's not may. So these people have to pay me, irrespective of what I say, and irrespective of how long a time, because there is no statute of limitation on fraud, just like there is no statute of limitation on murder, my people. Know these things. Now, the relevant part of Section 16 of the Constitution provides that no person shall be deprived of his freedom of movement. And for the purposes of this section, the said freedom means the right to move freely through Jamaica, the right to reside in any part of Jamaica, the right to enter Jamaica, and immunity from expulsion from Jamaica. So these things are what is known to these government political entity. However, why are they conducting themselves unlawfully out there? Why is it? Number 3 said, nothing contained in or done under the authority of any law shall be held to be inconsistent with or in contravention of this section to the extent that the law in question make provision A to E. And then section 19 provides, except with his own consent, except with his own consent. Again, you have to agree. This is why I must have fire burn for a traffic court. Anything wanna come to me with outside of my consent, it's called trespass. Yeah, man. Except with his own consent, no person shall be subject to the search of his person or his property or the entry by others to his premises. So you see, from when you do not consent and them start move against you without your consent, them a break the law. And all we have to do is just pursue it to this end, carry them to the Supreme Court, which that's what me going to have to do, because I'm not going to choose to do what is right. Number 2 said, nothing contained in or done under the authority of any law shall be held inconsistent with or in contravention of this section to the extent that the law in question make provision which is reasonably required, A, in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, public health, public revenue, town and county planning, or the development and utilization of any property in such a manner as to promote the public benefit. I don't owe nothing to the public, absolutely nothing, outside of not violating an individual rights, which I secure for myself. Nothing. For the purpose of preventing or detecting crime, or for the purpose of protecting the rights or freedoms of other persons. So these are the, the laws that are in place. And this is where the judge I really reiterate to these criminal prosecutors and criminal court people where bring case, false claim, these criminals that's in the Public Service Commission, the criminals that is operating in the Public Service Authority. Now, Justice Bax goes on to say these rights were reenacted in the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, which was brought into being in 2011 by the Parliament of Jamaica. In the course of this trial, no statutory exception to or suspension of these rights was relied on. That means that you can't come in there with the cross-dressing information where, you try to trick people. You bring fictitious claim upon the court. You know what I mean? So they must say none of that. Straight common law. Number 6 says the above quoted statement of rights are not trappings which necessarily go with statehood. So your fundamental rights and freedom are not trappings which go necessarily with statehood. They are the product of over 400 years of conflict, struggle, and sacrifice. Beginning in the 15th century, that are when the Spanish people come around here. Listen to this now. The forefathers of the majority of persons in this nation were, we now call Jamaica, were brought here in chains. Bullshit. Justice box. No such thing. That's some bullshit you talk about that they placate our people, let them thinking them start as slaves. No such thing. We never come here in chains on no boat. Chief Justice Box, correct them narrative that you're in error, sir. You are in error. They were forcibly taken from the country of their birth. What country of their birth? Are you insane, Chief Judge Box? I'm quite sure you're going to the University of the West Indies. I'm going to England to learn those fallacies. Correct your narrative. We are West Indians. We have been here since time immemorial. Correct those fallacious narrative out there. Justice, Honorable Justice David Batts. Listen to what the justice go on to say. Families were separated and human enslaved to serve firstly Spanish colonizers and then later English economic interests. No surprise. The system of enslavement continued until it was abolished by an imperial act of the British Parliament in 1833. That's just wordplay. The people here are still enslaved, still colonized by the foreign legal standards being implemented here. Yeah, those legal standards are rules and regulations, guides as law. Yeah, man. So they must say, abolition came after two Maroons war. There was no such thing. The Maroons are the West Indians who sold out to you colonial British. This is why you're writing the story one-sided. Them said the abolition came after two Maroon war, hundreds of violent slave revolts, and agitation by human rights activists called at the time abolitionists. The planters were financially compensated after abolition for the loss of their property. What property? Them come invade a place and a loot a place and with raw material and try enslave people and them still get paid. Who pay them? Who pay them? This is a problem. The newly freed man received no compensation, so the West Indian never received nothing. In Jamaica, civil strife and further rebellion resulted in the free men attaining the right to vote. There is no such thing. Free man attaining the right to vote. Free man then become colonized by way of their registration, voters registration. When you register with these people, it's contractual. You subject yourself to their will, their dominion, their authority. So when you must say free man attain the right to vote on the basis of universal adult suffrage in 1944, those things are fallacies. You, Judge Batts, still know that them enslave our people by way of their federal statutory system that is in place. Another 20 years passed before the British lowered the Union Jack and Jamaicans assumed full responsibility for their economic, social, political, and international affairs. Central to its position as an independent nation is the Constitution. The document, among the other things, guarantees unalienable rights to Jamaicans. Its ultimate form and content was influenced by developments internationally, not least of which were the creation of the United Nations and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It is the duty of this court to protect and uphold the rights guaranteed by the Constitution. So, what we are saying, the Chief Judge and the judiciary is totally aware of the unlawful conduct of these police officers and these agencies. However, it's business for them. For a man like me was supposed to go in a traffic court from last year till this year, over a year, with you know what I mean? No resolution. And I'm have me exhaust all my resource. See there, my ear used to enough for my head and me used to have a big preset when I like drop off to the pressure where these foreign people put me on. Everything does drop off. Yeah, man, if me not tie down my lady to me, all my lady, a beautiful life partner that would mind a snatch from me. You understand? So this is why me I say, I have born Babylon perpetually with truth. Fire burn. I don't have no truth out there. Because if the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom represent what is law by way of the contractual obligations and responsibilities by these public servants, then I will not violate these things and I get away with it. Or when I hear so the police officer, you know, literally going a financial ruin, that's because we have got to these justices for have them give their opinion. It don't work that way. This is why we say a commercial lien where you don't need a judicial process. And as I man go along, we're gonna have to express these things and you know initiate and implement these things and you know so we can get back our property and get back, you know, we estate whole. There's a plethora of information we share around here. We got way over our people's head, but we'd have to present it. Because if we not bring it out there and express it, we're not going to get no kind of resolve or resolution that is necessary. Yeah, so me have to excuse that part of the program there where me kind of missing in action for a few. I probably try to edit it out and things. As well as even this, I probably redo it so I can catch Diane Miller argument. You know what I mean? I have to catch her argument. Matter of fact, I'm not under no restraint or no restriction from the guy. So I probably can, where is it? I think this is it. Can go and play our thing again. Yeah, man.
Chad, who was driving a car at the front. Now Chad comes back to find out what has happened. And then Chad says, Gary, what is the problem? We can't even come to Jamaica, come enjoy ourselves. Every turn you turn, a police, and every time they stop us is money they want. At that point, one of the police officers said to Chad, I hold you long boy, and drape up Chad in his waist. So Chad told the policeman to let him go. The policeman pushed down Chad. Mr. Heman said at this point now, his mother is crying, Chad's wife is crying, and Mr. Heman says, officer, we're no gunman.
You hear that? The policeman put on him gun up. Well,
we're no thief. I'm a brother, I'm a family. And he also said, I feel so secure when me see you drive in a premises, but how you behave now make me feel insecure. He said they kept behaving aggressively. So he said to them, officer, I true now have a gun over we while I behave so. So one policeman then put his gun in the Jeep. He came back, he hit Mr. Hemans in the chest, he hit him in the face, and then he said, you say if I true me have my gun, why me have gone so? See me put down my gun there.
You hear that, people? The police put down him gun and beat up the man. Now, and not everybody police can play with like that. You have some who will kick them police out of them clothes. Put down your gun and see if you not get all a man like me wouldn't put my hand on your officer. You see the moment you put down your gun and come to me, I just my foot me I use on your officer. Mother does a rail up and a kick you in your face. Big face kick. A kick your head off of your body. When you say you want to come fight all a old man, I would have kick you to sickness. And you know the funny thing is, Because I would have do it so artistically, a friend them would have just stand up and laugh, them would even help you. And when you run to your gun now to shoot me, a friend them would have hold on for you and say, you can't do that to the old man. So it's not every man the police are gonna try that with put on gun and beat up who and beat up what. No man not and every man cannot fight. And every man I got take them beat up there. Some man will beat you out on the clothes, man. And have to run for a weaponry and call for a friend them. And I wanna know that too. A lot of wanna know that. And not everybody. I not say some man not bad enough. But as bad as it is, man, you have some way, man, when I care with kick on out on the clothes, man.
The policeman then started draping him up and saying he was going to arrest Mr. Hemans for assaulting the police. So Mr. Hemans asked him, how me could I assault you and you hit me in my face? So that policeman and another policeman now started to hit Mr. Hemans, then box him, they hit him all over his body. They took him
to that, a gang, them have to gang up on one man. Real sodomite sister them. Them have to gang up on one man. Who can't gang up on all me. A kick couldn't kill him. Sick. Yeah, man. Out of father on a public servant but subscribe and out of office. How on a lose in the world? How on a picture of that on the news all over the place? How on in the newspapers most wanted? This is why I not have no respect for this system until it correct itself. Absolutely no respect for this sodomitic system, this demonic system. Because the justices them know what going. And then wait till it reach this stage for carry it in a court for say, all right, the police was wrong. And they cannot continue this way. And when they continue this way and people become cognizant that this is what we not do, the place go and burn down. Yeah, man, I got stop walk with gun. Man, I got stop walk with gun. Man, I got start walk with dynamite. You understand? Man, I got start move with dynamite in them arsenal. And man, I got really bring earth out there. Try to forget chaotic before it get better. Try know that. So all our hope for this and that, me know better. I man know better. Because the truth is here and people ignore the truth. The law has been in place from 1962 when them said them get presumed independence. And these sodomitic people hide the law and ignore the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom and circumvent this very constitution and play games out there with people's lives. They know what they are doing and they shall be held accountable. All of them. If it's not now, it shall be later. But people need to arm themselves with correct knowledge. They can't know this kind of information and I play the very same silly games where you try take on people, you know what I mean, without knowledge and you know want to hold them accountable. Sometimes I could share the information, I could at least teach them first. Make them at least know they're wrong and them commit a crime by their wrongful action. Because sometimes them don't know. Sometimes the very police service commission, you know, say, induce some of these police officers to act unlawfully by incorrect, you know, say, teachings. Put it that way. There is no way you can subscribe an oath of office to uphold the Constitution and the laws thereof and to serve the people. And then you turn around and abuse the people. And it's only a $2 million lawsuit or a $3 million lawsuit, and you move on to start some security company or your friend them hook you up, or you migrate and go over the US to do construction work or any little thing like that. I tell you, say a time I come where all when I run, when I not have no place to run. A man like me, yeah man, a time I go come where we can make one talk. And when I run go in America, when I get it round there. Anyone run, when I run go around Africa, when I get it round there too. When I shall have no place to run. And when I never can stay on this island. Nowhere. When I forgot grip. On a whole bloodline I forgot lift up. If you run and left anything around here, it's gonna get burned. Any house owner I move from, I go burn down to the concrete, where they're on the ground, I feel lift up. We don't want phone no kind of liberty anymore. We're tired of the deception of the lies. I want to know right and I choose wrong and then not play strong. Now man, the people once them become cognizant, yeah, I go rise up man and demand truth and demand justice. Yeah man, I like a policeman now for just come beat up some people and feel like them children. We can understand when criminal out there engage in a criminal activity, then yes, that's where the challenge is for you guys. But when non-criminal are move through them land freely, you're not supposed to interfere. And when you interfere, you have to pay. Someone have to pay dearly with all on a life. Someone have to really pay with a life.
Portmore police station and they locked him up. This was 10 minutes to 11 o'clock in the night. He didn't get bail until the following day, 11 o'clock in the night. So he said he told the police on duty at the station that he had been beaten up, but nobody took a report from him. Also, they had put him in the holding area of the guard room. So anybody who came into the police station and knew him saw him there. In addition, while they were processing,
You see all them foolishness here. That's why them police have to hang. What kind of lawsuit? Them guys have to get them head lift off their body. These guys are demonic. Criminal them and them they in a police force. This is why you have to decapitate these kind of police officers. All of them are the same, you know, but you see when you catch these ones, these unlawful one and break the law, decapitate them, and that shall set precedent for the others. Decapitate, carry them in a Spanish town and hang them, man. What kind of games are not play? And the same thing go for the criminal out there. I'm not partial. Criminal a criminal. That's why I encourage our West Indian people to watch you know, warrior. Lego criminality. It only profit the enemy. It only profit the adversary. Leave criminality alone. Make them alone stay in them criminal world with them criminal law and them criminal police and them criminal judges and them criminal. Let them keep their criminality out there, people. Sometimes we for just sit still. I've never seen nobody die from starvation in Jamaica outside of people in pension and doing that. Never. You can't hungry nowhere in the city and you can't just walk go anywhere in the bush and ask anybody where have them properties and pick two or any fruit, but they're not gonna tell you no. Long as you not go on like a slick where you want to take the people and things and just sell it. So I've never seen nobody die from starvation in Jamaica. So why we are submit ourselves to these colonizing forces out there in order to talk about we want money? And the money make we exist. I'm on a reason with some warrior and I said, then if them do anything at all out there, after and I like we have money and do anything out there. We don't have no business to go on without them. So anything want crash can crash. It not go affect we. But what we do know is we have a birth certificate, or on Jamaica, we call it the birth registration form. And that very birth registration form represents the certification of vital record. And that is the instrument used to facilitate all commercial transaction out there. This is our clarity. And that very birth registration form is that legal person or juristic person. It is that surety. It is that bank. That's why I'm on call it a sophisticated financial instrument, very birth certificate. These are the paramount instrument out there, my people. Everything I derive from it because it represents you. Because it is a surety, there is a law of suretyship where say you as the principal is bound to the surety. And when there is a surety contract, my people, there have to be a guarantee contract to facilitate the surety contract. Both contracts work in tandem together, but them usually withhold the guarantee contract. Why? Because that contract demonstrates that you are the creditor. You understand? You are the only individual that can, ensure the solvency of the bankrupt debtor or of the insolvent debtor. People, now watch when me I use these words. All I know have smartphones, get on a phone, man, and look up these, definition etymologically, legally, and then even ordinary. Not playing a games out there with these people, West Indians. Do not play games with them, because they're not playing games with you. And they intentionally dumb you down. Yeah, colonize you. So you stay passive, you won't resist. You won't ask questions: who, what, why, where, when, and how. They did not teach you the trivium method of learning so you can think critically. You know what I mean? They didn't teach you the quadrivium method of learning so you can contemplate calculously. Yeah, you can break it down by just, the very image where you look at. You read a document, you can break it down instantly. Yeah, man, because you totally comprehend what the document has said. And everything in writing is usually some kind of contractual agreement. This is why your endorsement is always necessary. Them always try to gain your endorsement, whether by consent, whether by tacit procreation or acquiescence, whether by deception, you know what I mean, or inducement, but them always require your consent. Why? In order to gain access to your birth trust. Because the birth certificate is the beneficiary trust certificate. I'm not going to express it that way, my people. So everything a contract. So when you see them, I come with them quote, but them not tell us say it's contract in dispute. You understand? Especially when them are carrying a court for non-criminal conduct. Like how would I go in a traffic court where them said, them a charge me for unregistered motor vehicle. Like them can tell me or force me into contract. Them a charge me for driving without a license. Like say boy, me and them have any kind of sadomatic arrangement. You understand? For ask permission to travel freely in my land, which the Constitution secure. You understand? So when them talk about fitness, the moment I'm unregistered public servant, I'm outside the jurisdiction, sodomites, and that is a fact. And the law will prevail. The constitutional law will always prevail. Yeah, man. And as time go by, we don't even look one time, because time will expose, Right now, the whole world know how corrupt the system is, how criminal the system is. You know what I mean? And how, all the participants are complicit. But I'm not going to say plausible deniability when all of this information is here in the public. You're all complicit. One have to choose to do is correct on yourself before the head start get chopped off, because that will happen. We're not going to get on a head roll out there for unlawful conduct. Because truth have to prevail. Yeah, man. And these people know what is right, but they might choose for the wrong.
He did go to see a doctor after he had been bailed. So there was medical evidence as well before the court. And he went to court 6 times. The police didn't turn up. And it wasn't until the 6th time that the case was dismissed for want of prosecution. Now, let me say something here. This happens all the time. People take days off work to go to court only to have police not turn up. This happens especially in traffic court.
You hear that, people? So when Madama said this now, this thing has been happening, and this case goes on in 2012. I go to court 2019, get back my car by 2022. These unlearned people abrogate the Road Traffic Act and take out Part 2 and Part 4 out of the 1938 Road Traffic Act. And then these people took away my car, still without probable cause, still without a court order, all of these things, just arbitrarily. I do what them want out there because they must say them armed and them dangerous. And this is why we are said, you know, if all are equal under the law, no public servant supposed to have no kind of nothing where the natural common man, the free man, should not possess. And when you're a public servant, you are required to be licensed and bonded. Those things don't apply to the free man, literally. But they won't tell you it this way. You understand? Them still are going to play them games because all of these people are colonized. All of these people are members of the foreign institution. All of them come out of the university. All of them have the same agenda. It's just that some of them, when them get old, them can't escape the truth because they don't want people such as I bring the truth and them now bring it. They weren't saying all of these things in 2011, in 2012, in 2015. You never have nobody like these mainstream media personalities that express them kind of opinion. You don't see it until now. Why? Because man such as I bring a certain kind of truth where I obliterate them deception out there and it remove their presumption of authority. The truth alone can do that. Only truth.
And the court allows this because the judges keep adjourning the matters for the policemen to come. It's foolishness and it's disrespectful of people who have to come to court.
Now, I want to say why I call them judges a sodomite and disrespect them on YouTube, because that's the only way we can really, you know, get some attention to make them look people, you know, so out of order. Not everybody is slave, not everybody colonized, not everybody is unlearned, and not everybody is dunce. Not because we come from the ghetto. You understand? Not because we now walk around and say we have how much billion in our bank account. Yeah, man. Truth not partial. Law not partial. Your legality is the partiality. Again, your legality is the partiality. Fire burn. Why should I keep going to court? The police officer, Andel Morgan, remember me, I said to him, yo, you get paid for coming here, you know, and sit down here all day, you know, or pay me. And the brethren just laugh. You understand? So this is a total disrespect what these sodomites give to us as a people where them supposed to serve in them public servants capacity as public trustee. This is why I'm not give them no respect. I can't, I won't, I will not. I will only respect the ones that will show I respect. Any other sodomite judge will come in front of me, I get straight disrespect. The moment you now uphold your oath of office where you pledge allegiance to, you are one of them who can get in an accident out upon the road. I'm not talk about that's now fender bender. I'm talk your head chop off. Yeah, man. Fire burn for an evil one perpetrate out there continually. And then I come with distractions. You know what I mean? And some little flattery for placate with. We have to fire burn to the core. And I know these things are happening. Why is it still happening? You know what I mean? Why I don't put a stop to it? Why I don't express that Road Traffic Act is unconstitutional when I try to tell people, say, boy, I'm not compelled people against them will. Under no circumstance this West Indian would register anything with you corporation, knowing you're the colonizers, knowing you're the colonists, knowing you're our oppressors. This is why we say fire burn to no core. Yeah, man, no apology. No apology.
Or risk having a bench warrant issued for them and having themselves arrested.
All right. A man like me not got none on the court. And me I telling us that anytime when I send on a warrant come, it won't be trespass. Number one, when I use my name unlawfully because me have a copyright claim on that Linton O'Neill Dallas name, 500 US, 500,000 US dollars, not Jamaican. Just like how me have a do not trespass notice of 1 million plus US dollars. And these things are put in place ahead of time. These things are recorded. We not register with no foreign entity. We don't need to do that. All we want to do is validate the recordation where uno get notice. Because once we place the instrument on the public record, it is the duty of that county recorder to notify all the bureaucracy, all the agency of such. And now we fair run there and you public servants, sodomites, on fair run there and we on is there to serve we the people, not the other way around. I'm not one of those ones where uno can fool. You understand? This is why we are say fire burn to uno core, fire burn to uno warrant. On a war against not just I, a war against our ancestors. Yeah, man. Ancient we say. This is why I can't study with, I can't comprehend with, and I can't move with. We stand indomitable and we not brag. We are doing it on a level where we are say we are on our test way, you know, but we are withstand on a test. Because we are say truth the right here, so, and we are born on to court. No apology. Fire burn for a principality.
Why on earth should Mr. Hemans have had to come to court 6 times before the matter was thrown out? Really and truly, if the matter is called up the first time and police are not there and there is no excuse, no explanation given, the matter should be thrown out right then and there.
Judges, you hear that, Madam Lome? When I not play games with a man like me, that's why I get the opportunity to just expose a whole heap of things. Blow the idiot maroon and them organization out of the planet. Blow that deception away because you are West Indian, whether you want to admit it or not. You're no African. You've never been African. This is the usurpation. So I can leave room for the foreign men to come in at our location. Fire burn to the core for the illiteracy all on around. I not say I just right, me I say prove I wrong. All on around out there. That we are said.
Maximum 2 times. That's it. Anyway, Mr. Hemans couldn't go back to work for 4 weeks after he had been beaten up because he was in pain. He was a taxi driver. Now, this is what the judge said. The judge found the state liable to Mr. Hemans for assault, false imprisonment, and malicious prosecution. The judge said there was no reasonable or probable cause to stop him, to arrest him, or to...
You hear them thing the police? So when I go on like when I follow on a bullshit authority where nobody not give on them, or when in on an ego thinking so boy the government equipment, guns, ammunition, and down to the very clothes belong to honor. It belongs to the people. And when the people realize this, they're gonna tear it off of someone. Literally. Tear it off of them, make them walk me and beat them. Yeah, man, take away all of the equipment from when I move unlawful out there and tear them up. But the people are going to do that, you know. And I have no power against the people. Because the number small. The illusion is just that. Are the people that got tear in our apartment. Once the people them get through, they're not going to trouble.
To charge him. He hadn't committed any breach of the peace. He hadn't committed a felony. He had not even committed a misdemeanor.
Not even a misdemeanor I commit. No felony, no breach of the peace, but you have Senior Sergeant of Police, 100-man police station, A. Edwards, and his young constable, when corrupt and pollute, Andel Morgan. Them just arbitrarily stop me when me I show them say me have a traveler disc on my I'm unregistered. You understand? Outside their jurisdiction. And I've been here before, it's not the first time. So this is called double jeopardy. And the first time, them have a do not trespass notice on their traffic court record. And I'll present them information later when me I put together a simple claim. Because I'm in no rush. You know what I mean? Because we not have no interest to bring no hurt or harm. We rather share information so these people can learn and choose to do the right thing. But it don't look like them are going to ever do the right thing until, them get a commercial lien. So when no judge now can have no opinion. We not leave nothing enough. Justice's hand per se is after these people default on whatever claim we are going to present, then we can present it to any authorized tribunal, competent tribunal. Yeah, man, for arbitration. So, we have to know about what is legal is not lawful, separate and distinct, far apart, far removed.
There was no reason to assault him or to arrest or charge him. The judge said that the action of the police officers in relation to Mr. Hemans wasn't self-defense. They weren't defending any other person, nor was there any breach of the peace that was threatened or was in progress. The police officers responded with excessive force and in an unlawful manner to words of protest that came from Mr. Hemans and his passengers when they were stopped and searched. Now, the judge pointed to Section 15 of the Constitution and what it says about our right to liberty. What it says is no person shall be deprived of his personal liberty except in certain circumstances.
So when the Duns police arrest me and falsely imprison me, I'm going to lock me up in a 100-man police station and then issue me my own recognizance bond for 100,000 two times. 100,000 for myself and 100,000 for my surety. And I'm talking from first-hand knowledge because I share all of these information there with a witness statement. And when you see the witness statement, the police have said, me a claim that me are the leader of the Awak Indian nation. And I made no such claim. Because I'm not going to ever say, hey, me a leader for nothing at all. And I always hear me say, with a share information, I lead myself. I chose to lead myself. If by doing that one can look and, use that as an example, that's fine. But I can only show ones and ones how to stand up such as I. How to be the leader of themselves, such as I. However, just by that statement within the witness document, the witness statement document, then what I'm doing now is just, validate all of what me I say. So just by him I said me a West Indian, him should have known saying I have no jurisdiction. Just by him I cannot identify me as a Jamaican citizen. Because I not identify myself as such. Plus me have a world passport will put me in a diplomatic capacity, separate and apart from the statutory subject citizens. And knowledge to these things. But these people like to play games and they like to take in their court and adjourn, and you come back and you keep going. But I tell you this, believe it or not, when a judge and a cross-dressing court clerk, county clerk, with these police officers get a proper commercial lien place upon their estate. This will set precedent. You know, hear me keep on a side. It a go set precedent around them. And it a go make these people comprehensive. You know, them not under no circumstance are they immune or they are above the law in no capacity. Not you don't colonize unsavory people. Can now make a choice for go outside of the constitutional oath or allegiance you guys personally subscribe to. Wanna violate and break those oaths for monetary gains. This is why I'm not forgetting a head chop off, when I forget decapitated, when I forget line up in a Spanish town square, stripped naked and hung. So the whole world can see you. And the rest of ones them that is like you will remove themselves from office because them no want to end up that way. Example of a set out there. And it have to be harsh according to the condition that is out there.
One of those circumstances is upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed or being about to commit a criminal offense. For example, if police see you climbing in through my bedroom window at midnight, it is reasonable to suspect that you are about to commit a crime. If you are driving along the road within the speed limit, not breaking any laws whatsoever, there is no reasonable suspicion there that should cause them to search you. The judge also said it is still the law of this nation that persons under the Queen's peace are entitled to freedom from search of their person or property.
When I hear them thing of people, it's a judge that said this, you know. So our police officer become higher than a judge. We can just do what they want. This is why I'm saying bullet a go fly, man. Yeah, man, bullets a go fly like rain out there. Because people are going to realize, you know, that the enemy is at the door. Them now come correct. Them now present a warrant. Them now come because them want to commit criminal conduct. Sometimes you have some people see you live a certain way. They might pass your house and get a glimpse inside of your house and see how organized your structure is. And then we become envious. Then become jealous of you and your basic position. You know what I mean? And then them start move against you to disturb your peace and tranquility. This is the motive of most people. You know what I mean? Their bad mind. Enough of these public servants go in an office with this kind of deficiency. Yeah, man. I'm going out with them bad mind deficiency. That kind of attitude. So when them see a youth look kind of clean, organized, and put together, oh, he must be a scammer. Oh, he must be a criminal. Or he must be a visitor from foreign. Can't be a regular yard man that's choose to maintain themselves, you know, and carry and conduct themselves on a high standard. They must say, no yard man not gonna do that. So when them see it, they must say, yeah, them presume all kind of criminality. So we have to rebut these things, man, and bring truth, man. If you not have no authority constitutionally, then you're a lawbreaker and it's fair game out there. Lot of people ever get hurt because they might break the law and want to get away with it. Lot of them ever get hurt. I just pray for my people and we're in the public service because I know these people are doing the right thing. Them now get caught up in these kind of illicit, illegal, unlawful conduct. They won't. Just like Officer Porter. 3 officers pulled me over. And Officer Porter was the officer where have dignity, where have principle, where decent, where uphold his oath and never interfere with me. But Andel Morgan, him never really was an agitator. He was just saying curious. Him have a jacket, him want to go court, him want to learn these things. But Senior Sergeant of Police, A. Edwards, he was a culprit. I don't think this guy is qualified for the position when in it, really. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, you know. I just say him can't read and write. I show him the renunciation document. I show him the Jamaica Constitution as amended. I'm show him the do not trespass notice. And this guy ignored everything. Every single thing. He was amazed to see the amount of people where I interact and I hear me while them have me detained on the Hellshire roadside. That police officer was amazed. He must say, who you? How so much people are call a stop? Because people are jog, a ride, and people are drive by and a slow down. I say, what go on? You know what I mean? So Senior Sergeant A. Edward was amazed. He was like, who you? You know what I mean? Yeah, L.A. Lewis. I said, what kind of L.A. Lewis? You know what I mean? We're so far apart from those kind of people. And we not take nothing from L.A. Lewis, because we say we rate L.A. Lewis as a ghetto youth. We come create him own little thing. We not knock him. Not knock him, but we not gonna have a problem and correct him. And people don't notice L.A. Lewis hold him straight. And that I rate with him. And I always rate with him irrespective of if me have to give him a correction here and there. L.A. Lewis hold him straight. Him not violate. Yeah, man. So anytime him get the right truth, I'm go through him a Freemason, him already take out and already sell, you know, a part-time where him shouldn't give away. But L.A. Lewis know truth when him see it, but him a businessman. And the man now gonna make them business fail because of truth. Not every man. I know every man have the heart or the nerve to start over in truth. Yeah, man. Just like how them will know the truth and will never talk it. Yeah, man. So we have to know, sir, you know, we have some rights where them hide from it. And it's not called constitutional rights. It's called fundamental rights. It derives from the creator, the sovereign creator of nature. So, Sir P, when we talk about law, come around here and listen clearly so you, Sir P, can get clarity. Yeah, man. When I misuse the words, you know, we choose to use our words impeccably. So you say when I'm dance around there, so and true not here we say we dance. No, so when we say we dance, we are work hard to improve our state of condition. You get me? That's why when we speak, it sounds so eloquently and we move so fluently. Yeah, that are all because of the application. When you read, it got increase your vocabulary, my people. So don't be afraid of the information. I'm not afraid of them out there. When them tell us that them have all kind of degree, it don't mean nothing to the West Indians. And it definitely don't mean absolutely nothing at all to a man such as me.
Unless such a search is legally justified. He said, I hold it is not a lawful reason to stop and search a car based on the fact that cars with similar features are often stolen and used in the commission of a crime, which was the excuse the police gave for stopping and searching Mr. Heeman's crime. They said that that kind of car was used to commit crimes. Now, what is reasonable suspicion? Now, this is a critical part. Reasonable suspicion has to have something to do with you or what you are doing. It has to be specific to you. This is how the judge put it. The judge said the reasonable cause to suspect that an individual has or is about to commit a crime must relate to peculiar characteristics of the person or the vehicle he is driving or the manner in which it is operating or
All
to
a man like
information.
me with my pro box. So what kind of criminality me could have got commit with my pro box and try get where? When me have a big Awak Indian logo on my back window. Anybody and everybody I got see it as public notice. So I now engage in a criminality. I remember when the government of Jamaica back in the days, in 2019, when them a pull me over. Them a tell me how me I embarrass the government, and me I say why? Oh, I guess them a say it inside of them location. How can I be embarrassing the government? You know what I mean? Then are you saying must excuse the information, the truth, and the knowledge of me have in order to placate the government? And what is the government? I thought the government consists of a body of people who were delegated authority from the people, creating that structure called government. And that structure called government is supposed to serve the people, not the people serving or obeying or being subjected to the construct. And them clarity, you know, that's why I'm saying I can't handle me, you know. Yeah, man, I cannot handle me, not a man like me. I'm not bright enough. You understand? I'm not trained enough. You understand? So I never can handle a man such as I might. You know what I mean? And this is one of our problem and issues. Because I man choose to read and I man choose to write. And I man write probably way much more better than our mother speak. You know what I mean? Because then we will get time to organize our thoughts and, you know what I mean, make accurate our presentment. So at them level of people, yeah man, we said the brave may fall but never yield. But you know, let truth, you know, permeate there. I'm public servant. Know your location, know your station, know your position as public servant. You're not my master. You can never be. Not as dunce as you people are. Can't work. You can't match up. We're not for brag on them things. Just look on the information what we are sharing and how we are sharing. Look at how we are presenting. No regurgitation. You know what I mean? Authentic expression. Are them things that we bring forward. So it will go over most people's head. But you have the, you know, the true chosen, the true ones them out there were unique and set apart. And them are going to resonate with this kind of presentment and the presenter. And them alone are can resonate. Some like a soft sissy are going to run away from ones like we. Truly. Literal.
Received. In Jamaica, the citizen is free to move about without an obligation to carry a pass and is not to be subject to arbitrary or random search. This is still a constitutional guarantee. So no, the police cannot lawfully stop you and say they are conducting the search under the Agricultural Produce Act or under the Larceny Act.
No act. When a guy has stop paying off, he have probable cause. And when him not have probable cause, him supposed to just make sure say you good and everything. No come talk about licenses and rest. It apply to who it apply to. And when he's a dunce police and I know the difference, you're gonna end up pay some money. You're gonna end up pay some money. That's how it is. Yeah. Your estate are gonna end up pay some money. No act. No act. Which act? Which so-called law? When them say the Constitution is the supreme law. And what is the Constitution? It's the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, my people, as amended 2011 by Assent. That is the law of Jamaica. Don't let them fool you.
Because they're looking for stolen goods. No.
And when we say the Constitution, the Charter is synonymous with contract. We are talking about the area where it is in writing, so this chapter shall be binding upon all public servants. This is where the contract lies. This is where you hold these people accountable. You understand? Yeah, man.
That's how it goes. There has to be something that you have done that creates reasonable suspicion. So Mr. Heman's won his case against the government. He was awarded over $2.6 million in damages. I wish I could tell you that since the Heman's case, we no longer have situations where unlawful stop and searches are carried on. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you that.
It's still a go on. And after them go through them beat up there and them strip naked and skin out and squat there and all of them embarrassment there, all them get a $2 million. Now, what happened to these police? Are they still out there committing their criminal conduct on the road? Probably yes. When I hear so them get prosecuted for criminal acts. When I hear so them have to pay anything, them have to say, the police have to pay, which is the agency, which is, as they would say, the federal bonding company are going to have to pay. But these guys can move on or go do anything what they want and act like nothing never happened. This is why we have to hold them personally accountable. They shall be in my case, a personal liability me I look upon. And the state will employ them, you know what I mean? Them are going to have to hold some kind of responsibility. You understand? Because as I would say, the Police Service Commission and say the Public Service Authority, and them are induce these public servants to break the law because them not train them properly. So this is why, it's vicarious liability. Notice the agent is notice the principal, Dr. Andrew Holiness to get called up in them lawsuit, not just the Attorney General. You understand? All of these people forget the name call, all of these agencies. You understand? And all of them for lose them work, and all of them for lose them insurance, and all of them for get them name in the public so they can be embarrassed like how them embarrass other people out here. It's equality under the law, and all are equal. That is what they say. So why them I get special treatment? Why no change hasn't been made from 2012 until now? Why a man like me for out here an advocate for this kind of change? What they put a stop to the illegal and unlawful conduct from the Public Service Authority and its agents, including these judges who are accomplices, you understand, in these illicit, illegal, unlawful activities. We have to hold them personally liable because them are get in trouble. I man I go down the road. I never mess with these people. And them people I make some false accusation and presumption that I'm a slave, that I'm a subject citizen, that I am colonized. So I have to rebut it and expose these sodomites, because that's what they are. Demonic sodomites. No apology. Fire burn to the core. I know good people out there. And the good people that are out there, they're on my team, and they're on my side. And they must stand up with I in the shadows, because you don't know. People say they want to maintain them, them work and these bad guys, because the structure, the colonial structure in such a way where these bad guys can claim immunity. A lot of the good people have to watch how them step. So when we talk, it not apply to the people, and we know it does not apply to them. But it really applies to you when making a head hurt to know when I hear them truth. Yeah. You can't be lawbreaker and use might and say you're right. You're a lawbreaker, you forget punished, just like any other lawbreakers out there. Simple. Punish.
Let me say something though, because I know there are going to be people who are saying, but why would anybody object to being stopped and searched by the police if they haven't done anything wrong? I have no problem with letting the police stop and search me. Well, if it is that you agree and you consent to a search by the police, that's fine.
Do you hear that statement? If it is in fact that you agree by your consent, because remember now, when the police stop them and make an offer to you, but you don't know it. When them rude and out of order, you need to record them. Always record these people, because it's going to be the evidence to use against these people. Always, and you have to make them know you're recording them. It's even better when you record them secretly, because them express themselves more openly that way. When them see the camera, them we at least exercise a little restraint. But when them not see the camera, the one them when I get no good brought up, see, the one them with them mothers, a tabletop dancer, and them fathers are some common criminal, those kind of police officers, them are gonna go on bad. Them are gonna go on true to them nature. So you have to record them, and if you can record them privately, that's the best way. Because the law said once them in the public capacity, you can record them. I show those laws out there. So don't make them tell about turn off camera. Them not have no authority when them in them public capacity. Don't let them talk to you. disrespectfully and you accept it. You understand? Record them and you just bring a claim against them. Bring a claim against them. And all of these claims will add up. You understand? You can't just stand still and take your beat up and be passive, knowing say boy you never do nothing wrong. Because you have enough youth where behave bad out there. You have enough youth where are going with criminality where they're not supposed to are going with. So that's where the challenge is for the public authority, the public servants. Attack that area. You can't deal with the non-criminal, especially when they're non-violent. Like said, you just want to beat up somebody. Can you imagine how you beat up your wife at home, police officer? Can you imagine how you abuse and physically abuse and beat up your children? I don't even want to verbally, because if you're physically abusive, verbally you are nasty. Yeah, man, you're outrageous. So I'm sorry for phone, loved ones at home. I know police work stressful. This is why police were absent, go through a lot of psychotherapy. Most of them were absent every week, them in a therapy. Every week. The one them who can't afford it, every month, them go in a therapy. You understand? So them always a balance themselves, always a take stock of themselves, always a revisit their constitutional oath and what the laws entail. These ones are the proper police officers, proper public servants out there. But the rest, a little dance one, them will just go in there for hustle a fool, but them are the danger. Them are the living danger. Because you got to trust them through, you say them are police, and them are going to bring hurt and harm and destruction to you. Yeah, man. And them are going to get backed up by the judicial office. You understand? Because all of them is complicit. Sometimes it take an honorable justice, like Chief Judge David Batts, Chief Justice David Batts. Sometimes of them kind of honorable man, they notice, so them man, they flamboyant, like the Chief Justice sides. So them man, they are way, And I tell you, so you have some powerful, good people there out there who really will make change if you present them with the opportunity for them to make the change. That's how it really go, man. Good and bad out there, man, but the bad seem to be, running amok right now.
Just don't try and impose your agreement on somebody else. Other people might very well have legitimate reasons for not wanting the police to. Let me say something though, because I know there are going to be people who are saying, but why would anybody object to being stopped and searched by the police if they haven't done anything wrong? I have no problem with letting the police stop and search me. Well, if it is that you agree and you consent to a search by the police, that's fine. Just don't try and impose your agreement on somebody else. Other people might very well have legitimate reasons for not wanting the police to search them or search their vehicle, right? That has nothing to do with any kind of criminal intent or criminal offense. For instance, somebody might object to being profiled or stereotyped because they look a certain way and because they drive for
when I get involved. And then young, Constable Edwards, Constable Andel Morgan, I say, no know nothing about them thing, but senior sergeant of police, and just look for me and this a little simple man, yeah? This a little old carrier. No, sir, call the record of them thing, yeah, man statement. Yeah, good boy, good boy. I call big man like me, boy. Them thing, yeah, the senior sergeant statement. I'm have it on tape, come up here, some of the tape. You understand? So what me I try say, these guys are out of order. But some of them don't even realize how out of order them is. And I'm quite sure in them police training, them I get the training for disrespect people is yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no. You know what I mean? However, you know, them will do them own thing because them always been getting away with it. When a man is outside of your jurisdiction, it is just that, and it will go to all the highest court in the earth, in the land, and that are going to be proven. But what these sodomite like to do is pull you through the rugs, have you go a court back and forth, a spend where you not have, a lose your work, a lose your contract, a lose whatever projects you deal with, destroy all the way up, just for you engage with them sodomite court system. And when them exhaust you and go to the Privy Council, it go and get turned over, say, hey, sodomite, you little dunce people, you are wrong, you were wrong, you've been wrong, and turn it back and go do the right thing. But it's all a waste of time. This is why I say people now don't want to go through that anymore. They're going to know, say, we're not up to no good, and we're going to come visit you personally in our home, inside in the home, bypass all our security. And when we visit now in our home, man, we cook on them, man. Literally. We're gonna just cook. Yeah, just cook on them. And next time I'm telling them exactly what I mean when I say that. We're going to cook on them, man. Yeah, man. We see cause it have to change, it have to stop, it have to correct. But me know say when one start personally feel the hurt what them inflict on people, when one start personally experience the destruction, them are perpetuate on others. This is when them are choose to stop. No different from the Spanish when them have to run out of here. And the very same thing we're gonna have to do with the British and the British sympathizers here. We're going to have to go hold them and we're going to have to go cook them. Yeah, man.
Takes their constitutional rights very seriously and does not want to be searched if the police cannot explain what is a reasonable suspicion on which they want to search you. One of the important takeaways from this, though, we really need to know our rights and we need to know what questions to ask if it is that the police stop us and want to search us. You know, what is a reasonable suspicion on which you stop me, on which you want to search me, officer? What's the basis on which you want to search my vehicle? What is it about my vehicle or about me or about how I'm behaving that has given rise to reasonable suspicion? What is a reasonable suspicion? It's also important that we have a constitution that protects our rights.
Yo, this is the document when I give to the police. This very document, my people. Yeah, man. The very document.
Also important
See that?
that we
The very document with the very same Sir Patrick Linton, kind of my name, Linton Allen signature. You understand? And that document I get to the senior sergeant A. Edwards, you know. And this old man twin cannot read and write. The man just toss my document to the side and I show him a do not trespass notice. That is a document that is lamentated. Absolutely no judge will say them cannot read what is on that document. And it definitely state clearly where once you trespass, you're going to initiate a contract. You understand? So this is why I show the items and my thing is a little unique and I chose to share a whole heap of information for when I place the document in the Supreme Court as claimant. The whole court are going to mash up. Because no judge no want to come in front of that. No prosecutor no want to deal with that. The defendant are going to defecate and urinate on himself. Because I'm going to know say, oh, junk, this guy wasn't joking. And this guy has been warning like now for a very long time and everybody ignore it. But this is going to make it really effective, you know, when the truth stand up, you know. And all of these people with them fictitious lies and fictitious allegations. Because it's only the devil accuse you. It's only the devil. This is why I said these people represent the devil. Senior Sergeant of Police A. Edwards represent the devil. Constable Andel Morgan, who is the Constable of Police, 100-man police station in a Greater Portmore, my place. Them know me well. Every time me I jog me run right past them police station. As an old man, me I show them say, I'm fitter than them by a mile. Any one of them want a race, bring out on the young guns too. I run left them and embarrass them quick. Because the moment them run one block, them start hold them belly and hold them back. You understand? Can't outdo the West Indian. Never. One think you Usain Bolt is. I'm a West Indian, I'm not African. You understand? Because if I'm African are the racing neck to neck. You understand? And why you think is only the American can contend with us, the so-called? Because we and them are one people. We are the same. We share the same ethnic background. You understand? Non-foreign. So I'm not necessarily attack the ones that will mix. You understand? Pay attention to the pure blood one them really exalt themselves out there. Not necessarily the mix up ones. Them ones that get them privileges because of them mixture. So it's going on. Truth are gonna prevail the earth whether I like it or not. This document you're looking at on the screen represent the contractual laws of Jamaica. Yeah, so you find it. Now make no sodomite tell you different. And this secure your fundamental rights that you get from the sovereign creator. It not come from the politician, these cross-dressing sissies. And it not come from the government, the British crown. These fundamental rights precede these sodomatic colonizers. They are not God, but them are usurp God's power. So you have to know the difference. So when them question you, you can always give them an answer. And when them accuse you, you can rebut them and call them, you are the devil. Like your father was, so are you a devil who accuse the righteous wrongly. Fire burn out there. No apology. On one, some powder puff. On one, for pamper and peppermint. Not this time. Fire burn, man. That truth rain in the earth. Whether I like it or not.
We have a constitution that protects our rights, and we have a Supreme Court that protects the Constitution and upholds.
You hear that? That's why I'm rate the judge that must stand up for justice. Like Honorable Justice David Batts. Telling us I see him up a film location. I'm not going to tell him where. But the man just regular and easy, man. That's me affair, say, what you mean? Yeah, man. Man, I'm not stuck up like some of them other sissy where I know them are criminal, them have to have all kind of security with them. Nothing like that with them, man. Yeah. And then me have a L around the road where say, man, just
the Constitution.
Used to play ball and thing, you know. Me always make fun and say, where say, I used to salad and shift up Judge Batts. But my brother never really say all of that. So I guess Judge Batts, you know, in a film time, they active like how we in our time. Yeah, we are not just regular baller. When you look and see up on the field, you're going to say, who that? How you have them touch that? When play? Yeah. So we salute Judge Batts, because him come met them talk here. And since he met them talk here, Jamaica not do nothing to correct the error where them have out there in them traffic court area. Instead, them try to double down on their enslavement by removing Part 2 and removing Part 4 from the 1938 Road Traffic Act, making it unconstitutional. That's why I'm tell the taxi warrior them out there say, warrior. Now make them fool you with them bull there, you know. Challenge them, you know. Or if not, wanna come link me, but wanna have to pay me for retain them. I can't do nothing for free out there. You understand? And wanna not want to pay a man like me. So wanna go always go through this kind of situation. The Road Traffic Act is unconstitutional. When you have a white plate on your vehicle that is used in commerce. So once you run taxi, the white plate you use. When you go to work, you don't need to use nothing at all. You don't need to register nothing at all. This is where the Road Traffic Act, Part 2 and Part 4, the 1938 Road Traffic Act provisions entail. But try man bring it forward, Babylon, hurry up and move it. I'm laugh and say, boy, even that wanna do is unconstitutional because you can't abrogate, you can't abridge, and you can't infringe upon our fundamental rights and freedom, which is secured by the Jamaica Constitution, which that Jamaica Constitution is secured by the Supreme Court of Jamaica. How my sound West Indians? You feel like no attorney can stand opposite to me in any court. You feel like any judge are going to be audacious enough to make any ruling against someone such as I in any court, which all of these courts is my court. All of them belong to the sovereign man. All of them are the business on the sovereign man's land. This is why my situation is a little unique, my people. But if I not share the information, I'm not going to know it. Now, you have some lesser low IQ people are going to hear me talk this way and show them say them know things. I'm going to try to rearrange and structure themselves according to how they hear me say. But this is where we remain authentic. You understand? We are bringing forward. When them say a new thing in the earth, this is it. It's not new enough. It's just a concept. Now it's new. Because before, we ancestors know about the power we emit from above is the supreme power. But man usurp that power. And I say, boy, them have the power. This is why the Roman did come with for them Pope. And I say, boy, for them Pope is the vicar of Christ, meaning for them demonic Dionysus Pope represent Christ. My people, when them say Christ, you have to know that it is a cognition, it is a consciousness. You have power centers within your body, what them called chakras. You have the spinal cord, what them called the kundalini. You have the ida and the pinga, where are vessels where run up to your brain. So when you stimulate your power centers and move it from the lower region, go down to the base, and then it come right back up, and then it stimulate your pituitary gland up there, your pineal gland up there. You know what I mean? And you know, you just experience what I would call nirvana, basically the Christ consciousness. But you have Babylon where rearrange and usurp, and because they want to enslave the common man and say them is above the common man, them teach something else. And this is a part of the confusion. I man, again, neophyte, meaning beginner, meaning I'm new to it, man. I just learn. But we have an ancient spirit where animate with. So when we are bringing with information, you know, we make sure we try to ascertain clarity. So when we are bringing it, it's crystal clear. This is why we burn out the maroon, because we can touch upon that. I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, man. We can touch upon the maroon where, you know, we share some information, but I never touch upon the Flagstaff people, you know. Now, me that say the Flagstaff name is unknown. The Flagstaff that was erected there around the time of the Second Maroon War, which started in July 1795. I remember prior, which started in July 1795. Remember, them did have a war going on a rate long time, and the very first treaty was the 1738 treaty. So it's prior to the 1738 British Maroon Treaty, the town was called Fourie's Indian Town. You understand? After the war, the town was called Codger Town by the newly created Maroons. And while it was called Codger Town, it was also called Trelawney Town by the British. The origin of the English name Trelawney Town was with Governor Edward Trelawney, and this in 1738 he was governor to 1752, who was responsible for signing the British Maroon Treaty with Kodja in 1738. The town is shown on at least one map from that period, from that time period, as Trelawney, Negro or Indian Town, and it is located in the original parish of St. James. Now, again, the town was shown on a map as Trelawney, Negro Town. And you know, sir, when them come first, them call with Negro, and then them start giving all different terms. My apologies. Let me rephrase that. When the Spanish man invaded our location, they called our people Indians. When the British come, this is when them start make some change. Them call the people Maroons. You understand? And all other labels derive from that. Negro, colored, African, African American. These are all these labels to remove you from your place. So always know West Indians say you are the first nation, the first people. Now it's by the 1771, St. James had been divided into two. So St. James, big old St. James Parish, them divided into two, with the eastern end being called Trelawney Parish, in honor of the presiding governor. This is a new governor now, you know, William Trelawney, which probably is some relation to the old governor that was there when named Edward Trelawney. And this was in 1767. He was governor to 1771. So them run this thing like a family tradition, my people. Now, it so happened that Trelawney, Negro or Indian Town, remained in St. James Parish, only a mile or so from the Trelawney border. One can well imagine that the British were pleased to clear up this confusion by changing the name after the war. So, honestly, the big switch, changing what name? You understand? From Forest Indian Town to Trelawney, or to the Maroon, or to whatever they want to call it now. Barracks were built, you know, armed barracks. Barracks were built in the upper part of Trelawney Town, and the military graveyard can still be seen. The lower part of Trelawney Town was originally called Forest Town and corresponds to the present day Maroon Town. So you say what am I call Maroon was originally Indian, my people. Them now gonna tell you these things. Because them have to put you in a place on behest or on behalf of the colonizers. This is who them I work for. You understand? This is who a benefit, but them I get privileges. Like, you know, masters over you. So them will say, we are Maroon and we're sovereign, and you Jamaican citizen are slave. And we're separate from you people. No. You're Maroons with special British privileges. And when I say special, I mean according to General Penitentiary's definition. Because when you're special and you go in a GP, then put you in an area where them call Boys Town. You understand? And when you go in a Boys Town, you know, it's a boy, that's where the United Nations secure those people, fund those people. This is why right now GP is being run by a man where they would say him is gay. Yeah, I said it. Wanna go research it. I'm here said that man around the place well. So I know that, but I hear these things. But me have shown the agenda that is there. And on a joke agenda. The demonic power out there is the, you know, instill all kind of, you know, same-sex practice within society, and them are do it openly, and then them are tell you, everybody say it is the law, so you have to accept it. And I say, fire burn. I reject it. You understand? Yeah. Me I say, boy, you can't change what God set in place. You can't change what is right and then make what is right wrong. And in the same instance, you promote what is wrong as if it is right. We have no interest in a them kind of, change there out there. We choose to stay conducive with what is upful, what is whole, what is morally, say, acceptable. Yeah, we stay upon that side of things. The lawful side of things, not necessarily legal. We don't respond for what's legal out there. And them thing you have clarity, man. And them thing you bring honorable clarification. Do it again. Don't do that now.
That protects the Constitution and upholds the Constitution. I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me courtside. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Madam Dion Jackson Miller. We appreciate the information that you have presented to us as a mainstream media personality, expressing the fact that the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom are relevant. You know what I mean? And that fundamental rights and freedom are secured constitutionally. And all public servants swore and subscribed an oath or affirmation to uphold said Constitution as amended 2011 by assent and the laws and to serve the people of Jamaica well. That's basically it. So when them go outside of that, then them a lawbreaker. So we give thanks for them kind of clarity there. And again, I have some dead time on this thing called me the downstairs when the first segment of the tape stopped. So I probably have to go fix it up. Anyway, again, complete gratitude out of free people. Again, the brave may fall, but never yield, and we say bold and brave, we say firm and strong. Salute Hassan Blake, salute Samuel Allen, salute my general. And again, salute Free West India. Complete gratitude out there.